brotherhood by my own hand.
Hey everyone, it's Jenny. You guys absolutely blew up the first video on historical series, so I'm back with part 2. I've dug through the Netflix archives to find 10 more shows that are just as intense, bloody, and impossible to turn off as the last batch. Now, if you missed the first 10, don't worry, you can click the little I button up in the corner or check the link in the description to catch part 1. That way, you'll have a full list of 20 epic shows to get through. If you're looking for your next weekend obsession, you're in the right place. Let's jump straight into the countdown. Number 20, Vikings Valhalla. If you finished the original Vikings and felt a total void in your soul, this is exactly what you need to hit play on next. It's set about 100 years after the original series. So while the legendary names like Ragnar are now just myths, the world is even more dangerous.
The entire north is threatened.
By the English king.
Vikings are preparing for an invasion.
Maybe his courage. Courage is not rare here.
Let's go again.
This! You are here! For your honor!
We follow a new trio of heroes, including the famous explorer Leif Erikson, as they navigate a world where the Viking Age is actually starting to fade away. The production value is massive, the ships look real, the shield wall battles are incredibly visceral, and the tension between the pagan Vikings and the new Christian converts adds a really cool layer of drama that the original show didn't have as much of.
We are not well liked, well used.
You married a spoilt child and that—
Number 19, the Empress. Think of this as the rebellious, high-stakes version of The Crown, but set in the stunning palaces of 19th century Austria.
I want an empress to wear our crown with zeal. An empress who's a shimmering light.
A marriage born of love. Is that allowed?
We're trying something new.
She's planning a life for me that I don't want. The Empress must stay untouchable and unsavable.
You haven't the faintest idea what you're doing. I love only you.
Why?
It tells the story of Elizabeth, a young woman who unexpectedly falls for the emperor and finds herself trapped in a royal court that is basically a Shark Tank of secrets and protocols. What makes it so addictive is that Elizabeth is a complete misfit. She refuses to be a puppet, which causes absolute chaos for the monarchy. The chemistry between the leads is honestly electric, and the show does a brilliant job of balancing the romantic tension with the very real threat of a revolution brewing right outside the palace gates. Number 18, Age of Samurai, Battle for Japan.
Anarchy reigns as
In the Sengoku period, there were no more rules. This was all-out battle for control of Japan coming together. And Tokugawa Ieyasu. These assassins
the most decisive struggle for power in the whole of Japanese history.
This one is a bit of a hybrid. It plays out like a high-budget action movie, but uses experts to tell the actual history of how Japan was unified by blood and steel. It's centered on the brutal power struggles between rival warlords like Oda Nobunaga, and let me tell you, they do not hold back on the grit or the violence. It feels like watching a real-life version of Game of Thrones set in feudal Japan, complete with betrayal, seppuku, and massive battlefield tactics. If you're a fan of the Rise of Empire series I mentioned in the last video, this has that exact same just one more episode energy while teaching you about some of the most terrifying warriors in history. Number 17, Peaky Blinders. You really can't talk about addictive historical television without mentioning the Shelby family.
You'll believe what?
Speak.
That's what I meant.
That's why they sent a copper from Belfast.
Maybe, maybe not. Crown of a prince. Soon to be king of... But he's got attacking your bookies and taking your money.
Years since the war, those of you who look the other way.
Anyway, we're Peaky Blinders.
We're not scared of coppers.
My job.
Every gun, every bullet will be brought to me for inspection. I'm looking for Thomas Shelby.
Set in Birmingham right after the First World War, it follows a gang that sews razor blades into the peaks of their caps and slowly builds a criminal empire that reaches all the way to the government. Cillian Murphy plays Tommy Shelby, a man who is always 3 steps ahead of everyone else, and watching his mind work is half the fun. The show is famous for its incredible style, the slow motion walks, the modern rock soundtrack, and the razor sharp dialogue. It's a masterclass in tension, and once you start following Tommy's rise to power, you won't be able to stop until the very last scene.
Killing him is not enough. We must make an example of him.
Number 16, Frontier. This series takes us into the raw and lawless world of the North American fur trade in the late 1700s, and it's a side of history we don't see very often. Jason Momoa plays Declan Harp, an outlaw who is essentially a one-man army trying to break the ironclad monopoly of the Hudson's Bay Company. It's a story driven by pure, unadulterated revenge and survival in the freezing wilderness. The show feels very rugged and unwashed, which I love because it makes the world feel so lived in and dangerous. Every character has a hidden motive, and the conflict between the indigenous tribes, the traders, and the British soldiers keeps the plot moving at a really fast, exciting pace.
Do not force my hand.
Number 15. Medici. If you think modern politics is messy, wait until you see what was happening during the Italian Renaissance.
One day, when I'm gone,
It no longer means your children must remain poor.
are you sure?
Only one answer to the charge of treason. Death to the traitor.
I did everything I could to secure your return. Was it such an unforgivable treat?
Everything I have ever done has been for you, for Florence.
This show follows the Medici family as they rise from simple merchants to become the most powerful bankers in the world, literally funding the greatest artists in history while dodging assassins. It's a world of secret meetings, religious scandals, and family members betraying each other just to keep the Medici name on top. The show was actually filmed in beautiful real-life locations across Italy, so it looks absolutely stunning. It's the perfect mix of highbrow history and the kind of juicy, dramatic backstabbing that you'd expect from a modern thriller. Number 14, Kingdom. I know some of you might be skeptical about a zombie show in a history list, but trust me, Kingdom is one of the best period dramas ever made, period.
강령전에서 몰골이 끔찍한 괴물에게 무슨 일이 생겼는지 알아내야만 한다.
여기 있는 사람들에게 아무래도
적이 퍼질 것이다. 막아야 한다.
그 불의와 싸워서 이기시는 것만이.
It's set in Korea's Joseon dynasty and follows a crown prince who is trying to investigate a mysterious plague while his own government is trying to have him executed for treason. The way they blend traditional political maneuvering with a terrifying supernatural threat is genius. The costumes are some of the most beautiful I've seen on screen, and the cinematography is top tier. It's so well paced that it feels like a 6-hour movie, and the cliffhangers at the end of each episode are genuinely punishing.
The death of the Brotherhood by my own hand.
Number 13, Knightfall. This series dives deep into the legendary and often misunderstood world of the Knights Templar during their final turbulent years. It's packed with secret societies, holy grail myths, and some of the most intense heavy armor sword fighting scenes you'll ever see.
Is proven in the theater of war. This is in the Templar blood.
Templars took up arms against my army.
As God's holy ruler, it is time I demonstrated my
Empress. And a former Templar himself.
King Philip has declared us his enemy.
Storm is gathering and I plan to be ready with...
Submit or be...
God forgive us all.
What I found most addictive about this one is the Brotherhood seeing these warrior monks struggle with their faith while being caught in the middle of a war between the Pope and the King of France. It's got that epic medieval scale that fans of The Last Kingdom usually crave, and it does a great job of making you care about the men behind the crosses on their chests.
I'm gonna shoot you right now!
Tu devi smetterla di fare tutto di testa tua.
have to watch.
Number 12, The Law According to Lydia Poët. This is a total hidden gem that follows the true story of Italy's very first female lawyer.
Poët, sì, mi hanno detto che prende poco, meno di un uomo.
Come la chiami, scusi?
Lidia, la figlia di quello lì.
La sorella
Si chiamano impronte digitali.
Stiamo perdendo tempo.
Allora... Non sai stare al tuo posto.
Diversa. Non hai mai sentito il giudizio degli uomini addosso? Tutti i giorni.
Because the law in the late 1800s said women couldn't be lawyers, Lydia has to work in the shadows, acting as a private investigator to solve grisly murders and clear the names of people the system has already given up on. It's incredibly witty and fast-paced, almost like a Victorian-era version of Sherlock Holmes, but with a lot more heart and style. The lead actress is so charming and rebellious that you can't help but root for her as she uses her brain to outsmart every arrogant man in the room. It's stylish, funny, and surprisingly dark when it needs to be.
On me!
Number 11, The King. To top off our list, we have this absolute masterpiece that feels more like a limited series event than just a movie. It's a grounded, gritty look at the life of King Henry V, a young man who hates the idea of war but is forced to lead an army into France. Unlike a lot of Hollywood movies, this shows you what medieval combat actually felt like. It's muddy, exhausting, confusing, and terrifying.
So you're the different king.
Is taunting us.
They were my father's enemies, not mine. The screams of your...
Bloody and soulless. This is how peace is forged.
Surrender to me. King of England.
Oh, no, where?
Timothée Chalamet and Robert Pattinson both give incredible performances that bring these historical figures to life in a way that feels modern and relatable. It's the perfect grand finale for your binge watching session because it leaves you thinking about it long after the credits roll. And there you have it, 10 more series that prove history is anything but boring. I love to know how many of these have you actually seen, or did I miss one of your personal favorites? Drop a comment below so I can see what you're watching. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you found something new to watch, and make sure to subscribe so you don't miss our next list. I'm Jenny, thanks for hanging out with me, and I'll see you in the next one.